Good morning. Okay. Hi, I'm Karen from Ask the Spirit Guides. So, this is me coming to you in the raw. I just got up. I wash my hair at night, so this is what happens. So my hair is a joke, but this topic is not. I woke up. I asked the SGs if I should talk about this, and they said yes. And so I'm not even sure. I'm going to fumble I know I'm going to fumble this. I know I'm going to make mistakes. I know I'm not even sure I'm going to post this video. I'm not even sure if I post it, how long it'll stay up. I'm not sure. I just don't know, but I feel like this is something I have to say. And it's something I want to say. It's been too long in coming that our society, that the American U.S. society has apologized to our African American community for their atrocious history of how they came here. And I am going to fumble this up because I don't even have enough history to talk intelligently about it. And I apologize for that. But what I do know is that slavery happened. And what I do know is that I'm see again, fumbling it up. What I do know is that no one in our administrations has ever bothered to really acknowledge this in our country. What I do feel deeply is that we can't heal as a country until this is acknowledged, both to the Native American populations and to the Black population. I do know that. I'm just deeply, deeply sorry. I'm feeling it. I'm sorry that people say, well, I didn't do it. That's not an excuse. That's not an excuse. It's easy for you to say. For people who say that, it's easy for you to say because you have privilege. I at least understand white privilege a little tiny bit because I've been to conferences. I chose to go to conferences on that when I was working in higher ed. So I at least understand that. Americans have never bothered to learn about white privilege and what that means to people who don't have it. And I'm sorry for that. I am very, very sorry that women have not shown up for Black women in elections. You did what you needed to do. Of course you did. You're a total example to us because you know how to do it because you've had to do it. You've had to do it. Your whole ancestry has taught you how to do it because you had to. You had to do it because of the way that you were treated and stripped from your own heritage. I mean, I've heard people say, and it made me wonder, it made me think, I don't know if anyone's listening to this and is not Black, you don't understand, they don't even know who their ancestors are. I mean, they don't even have they don't even have a choice to know that, to know where their roots were. Again, that could be, the way I'm saying this could be completely wrong, but my intention is just to explore things in my head that have been in my head that maybe will challenge some of us to start thinking about this and start taking it more seriously. I love the way that the Australians that I watch, when they get on, they will honor the land in which their videos are made. That is amazing. Do you even know, I'm kind of switching cultures here, but do you even know what land, if you're in the United States, do you even know what land, who owned this land before white man stripped it from them? We're the immigrants. We're the immigrants. The Native Americans are not the immigrants. No, they should be doing this to the rest of us. We are the immigrants. If anybody has a right to do that, it's the Native Americans. So this isn't about hatred. It's not about, it's just acknowledgement. There's nothing wrong with acknowledging, It's just acknowledgement. It's stop pretending. And this mug is not, well, I think this is, I still like this mug because I think everybody needs to take care of themselves. So it just doesn't feel like the right. I don't know. I just feel like sitting in silence for a minute. And since we're talking about ELECTION results so much right now, I was kindly reminded that white women, had the right to vote in 1920. Not all women. Not all women. And right now, as I sit here, I don't even know what date women of color were given, or men of color were given the opportunity to have a voice in this country. It's just acknowledgement, you guys. We need to acknowledge. We need to understand things better. And you know what? We don't have to wait for these things to be taught to us in school, because they're not going to be, at least not anytime soon. Or if things keep going the way they are, they never, ever, ever will be. But you can choose to educate yourself so that when you are in community with people of color, Black people, Native Americans, immigrants, understanding why immigrants come here, you can learn that. You can learn those things. If you are a white person, you have to learn about white privilege, man or woman. You have to learn about white privilege. You have to understand that all the systems in the United States were built with white privilege. They're stacked against people of color because white people built them for their own protections. I mean, that's the bottom line. I mean, we can sit and complain about women's rights, but white women have way more rights. I can walk around, any white person can walk around society and not have to put up with all the things. I'm not even going to pretend I know what people of color put up with. All I know is I never have to. I never have to. I saw a video on how a black man was teaching other black people how to appropriately address an officer when they're stopped if they get stopped, which is often for the color of their skin. And it's very different than how we have to do it, how white people have to do it. It's very different. And black moms have to teach their children very different things than white moms have to teach their children. And we can't say that they need to pick they need to do it. They need to make the changes. They can't make the changes. Every system in this country is stacked against any kind of changes for that. It's impossible. And I'm telling you, they know how to speak up, though. I am watching, especially black women, I am watching you. I am watching you in admiration. I am paying attention because you know how to get it done. In the most honest and effective, and in getting it done doesn't mean winning. Compassion, kindness, you know how to do that. You know how to get it done. You know how to stand up. Like I even started this video that I don't know how long, I don't even know if I'm going to post it. I don't even know how long it's going to stay. Because my white privilege tells me that, I don't want to rock the boat. I don't want to be unsafe. I'm not sure I'm going to have comments on, but of course I want to have comments on because I want people to talk about this. That's what this channel is about. This channel is a spiritual channel, but it's a healing channel for me. It's a healing channel for whoever, it might help. It's a spiritual healing channel. It's a health healing channel. It's a place to come in community of support and love and challenge. That's why, kind challenge. I'm not sure I like the word. Well, I like the word challenge. It's called challenge and support. It's one of the things. I was a hall director for 5 years. I worked in residence life, my first 5 years of my career, my professional career. And we studied a theory called challenge and support. So this channel, while it's kind of mixed, because honestly, I'm recording this channel is 2 weeks and 1 day old. So somebody said something to me yesterday in a comment, and I said, this channel is an infant. We're just trying to figure out, but so I'm just going day by day, like what I want to talk about, because it is my channel, and if it resonates with people, that's awesome. That's who it's supposed to resonate with, So it can be so many things. But I think a challenge and support is going to be one of the values, because we challenge each other, because the challenge is in the growth, right? We talk about things in kindness and compassion. We point things out. We share the history we know. We correct each other if the history we're sharing is not correct from your perspective or from the history books, the facts, That's what I want it to be. I don't want to sit in, even people with different political views. I will not accept MAGA, rude comments, celebratory. I won't accept that. That's not freedom of speech. Which, by the way, that's a whole nother topic, this whole freedom of speech thing. Come on, people. If your children acted the way anyone who's like, freedom of speech, I can say whatever I want. No, you can't. No, you can't. Freedom of speech doesn't mean you get to be an a-hole. We don't let children do that in school. If they're bullying people, we don't go, oh, your freedom of speech. No, I'm tired. This is crazy. This whole, I get to say whatever I want, freedom of speech crap. No, you don't. No, you don't. Don't hide behind freedom of speech. I'll have to do another topic on another one on that, but well, I am going to do an angel card just because I'm curious, and I'm going to do a very short SG reading on this topic of acknowledging our Black brothers and sisters on the atrocities that were, I mean, how could anybody think to do that? How? I mean, I totally, because again, the spiritual channel, I get it. I get that we're evolving. I get that human beings are evolving. I get, it's just like right now, I just couldn't even, like, there have to have been people who felt like me back then. There had to have been, like, seeing it come over and be like, what the, Well, I know there were, because eventually it was fought for, but oh my goodness gracious. My goodness gracious. And here's the thing, people, I do believe in reincarnation. So again, we all have different beliefs. And if you're not sure you believe in reincarnation, I highly recommend you read Many Masters, Many Lives by a scientist, a psychologist, who you'll believe it after you read that book. I mean, do some research. People have all these beliefs. I would say most of my beliefs come from my education and reading and, diving into different topics. So I just, that's how you form beliefs, through conversations you had with people. Right or wrong, my beliefs change too, the more experience you get. But you got to get some experience before you say whether you believe it or not. You gotta at least read something, So anyways, I was going to say, it's kind of ironic if you do believe in reincarnation, because I'm 55 years old, right? So slavery happened prior to me being born. So if you believe in reincarnation, so many of us have probably had that experience in one way or another, right? All over the world. So it's pretty funny if you do believe in reincarnation and you can't acknowledge that someone, ancestral line had that experience and what that might be doing to them today, how that ancestral line formed and the morals and the values that they formed because of that experience, which is why there are the real struggles there are today. If you believe in reincarnation, you have to believe at some point your soul experienced the same things, So we really are just, brothers and sisters. It's just that our current brothers and sisters are the ones who have that ancestral line. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's just where my brain was going. Okay. Let me do a quick angel card reading. I don't know how patient people are going to be sticking around, but I'm going to do it for me. Hi, Luce. People sometimes like, that's Lucy. She is quite sweet. She has to be, if right now, if I got up and walked into the kitchen, she would go into the kitchen. She'd be sleeping. She could be like totally sleeping. If I get up and go in the kitchen, she'll get up and go in the kitchen. Then I come back here and she comes back here. She follows me everywhere. Okay, so I will put Many Lives, Many Masters in the description, if I remember to. So you know which book I'm talking about, but this is the angel cards that I'm using. I love them. I'll have that in the description too. They're affiliate links. We get a little bit of money from Amazon, but it supports the channel. So if you're going to buy them anyways, if you can use the link, and it supports the channel. You know, when people are selling you products on YouTube in any description, they have to put, if they're or even talk about it, they're really supposed to say they're affiliate links. So, because they're affiliate links, people. And so they're required by law to admit that, to disclose it, so people know that they're, you know, so that's why I'm careful. I like use the stuff that I recommend, and then if people want to, if they want to buy it, then again, that's the way you can support the channel. But okay, so some of my cards are turned. All right, so I close my aura to all but my higher self, the God consciousness, my guides and guardians, and ask Archangel Michael to please protect this channel so it's only of the light. Amen. So based on this top, I'm talking to my spirit guides and the God consciousness. And really, I'd like to call in any of the spirit guides of anyone who would be visiting this video for a message for you. I'd like to call in any archangels, any ascended masters, any unknown angels that are particularly interested in this topic. Maybe even people, souls, spirits that were on earth with soul contracts to even have anything to do with slavery at all. That'd be kind of interesting. Oh, hello. Okay. I was asking for a message. What message do you have for us today? Okay, so let's see. Okay. I don't know. This is really like, I'll try to do some interpretation, but I'm not really interested in sharing my interpretation so much. Another goal in this channel is for you to tap into your intuition and follow that. Because we all have our own intuition. We all have our own things, spiritual growth. We all have our own things we have to work on. And so me just saying, this is what this card means, is not going to help you. That's not going to, you're going to, oh, okay. You know, you need to feel something in you in order for something to change. So I'll go, oh, that's interesting. If I hear something, but I want to hear what you had, how it affects you. Because it's your intuition that matters, you know. I don't know if I should turn this on so I could read. It's going to be too bright. Okay. Here's the card. I'm covering up the words at first because I want you to look at the image, if I can get the glare off of it. So what do you see? It's beautiful. Again, based on this topic, you can see some words at the top. It is Knight of Air. So the words on the top is intelligent, decisive, idealistic, and tireless. So what you're doing, and if you follow along with any of my angel card readings, what you could do is actually start an angel card notebook. And anytime you stumble upon one of these, you can write some notes to yourself, you know, put topic down, whatever you got out of this, and that's what the card would mean to you. But what do you see right away? Anything come back at you? Because there's some symbolism in that for you. That's a message for you. So we all see different things. Okay, I'll hold the card up again as I'm reading. But this, I'm going to read out of the big book of Angel Tarot. Okay. Events that occur with great speed. Take time to carefully review your options. Creative solutions. I mean, what that has to do with the current reading, I'm not 100% sure. My intuition is not saying anything at this very moment. Okay, so Knight of Air. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. I turned to it right away. First page. Okay, so I'm going to hold this up so you can see it as I speak. Okay, so the Knight of Air is probably the fastest moving energy in tarot. Interesting. Our lives may seem to be moving very slowly or even not moving at all, but when this knight shows up, it's like stepping into a whirlwind. While all the knights are very active cards that speak of taking action, this particular knight thinks his way through to successful solutions. It's kind of interesting because my intuition, and again, I don't want my intuition to trample on yours, but for the purposes of this video, my intuition just said that all the malarkey, I will use a term from our President Joe Biden, all the malarkey that's going on right now may very well have some very successful solutions for the topics that I've been talking about here today. And it's moving fast, because all the past is really coming up right now, isn't it? It's bubbling. All the stuff that people who might be considered racist, who are considered racist, they have their own ancestral history, right? That they have to grapple with. And all of it's coming up. It is coming up to the surface. And, frankly, if I were the Black community right now, I would just get my bowl of popcorn out and I would watch the show. I would just watch the show. Okay. So I'm not even sure saying that was appropriate. I mean, like part of me is like, just wants you to sit back and be like, yeah, this is what it's like, people, obviously you're going to, do whatever you're empowered to do, but you know what I mean, I hope. This isn't the time for making emotional choices. Decisions must be made via the intellect. Exactly. I was just talking about that. Educate yourself. Because the movement is so swift, it can be difficult to think through our choices before acting. And yet, it's still important to ponder our alternatives and fully consider what our desired outcome is before we go too far down the road. See, that's why I asked the SGs this morning, like, this topic is in my head very passionately. I'm just really doing videos on things that are just like, you have to talk about this. But I was like, is this, what is my desired outcome of this? I don't even really have a desired outcome, you guys. I'm just here to speak my truth, basically, and what's in my head and what's coming out of my heart. Okay, so symbolism. The knight and his compassion are moving very swiftly. The knight has to hold on tight in case he's thrown off the unicorn. It's important that we see to all the necessary details, lest we be thrown off of our course. The unicorn's horn is quite magical, and is even lit up. That's the thing I noticed right away, which indicates the spark of brilliance coming from its mind. Swords are symbolic of courage, justice, and even clarity of purpose. This sword is lit up to show that the knight's quest is one of integrity. So that whole thing really resonated with me, and even just putting this video up. The symbols for Capricorn and Aquarius are on the bridle of the horse to indicate the astrology of the card. Huh. I don't know if you can see that. Okay. The knight wears a red dragon on his chest. Oh yeah, look at that. Signifying the passion he feels for his endeavor. Angel number. The number for the knight is 62. The 6 energy speaks of the material world, while the 2 assures us that the power of positive thinking is on our side. The number 62 reduces to an 8. So it's 6 plus 2 equals 8, which relates to abundance and financial gain. People, the Knight of Air's middle name may well be Lightning, because that's how fast he moves and how brilliantly he thinks. He's the traditional knight on a quest, and he usually has everything planned out from the beginning. He's tireless in his pursuit of success and very idealistic. The only problem is that this knight does have the tendency to act impulsively. That's me. A little impulsive. His instincts are usually exactly what the moment calls for, but not always. Yeah, that's exactly. Every once in a while I'm like, oh yeah, let's take that back. That's why when the Knight of Air rushes into our lives, it's always a good thing to at least try to get him to sit down for a moment and discuss his plans with us. But sometimes that can be almost impossible to do. There's a lot of message in that. Astrology. This card is associated with Aquarius with a little Capricorn thrown in. Aquarius is an air sign just like the card and is also quite brilliant. It wants to save the world, but it can be ungrounded. The Capricorn energy brings our knight back to earth so that those brilliant ideas can manifest without chaos breaking out all over. So again, relation to the topic. That's exactly why I was hesitant to even make this video. But I thought, if I can do it from the heart, not accusing, just encouraging, then maybe chaos wouldn't break out all over whoever sees this. I don't know yet. I really don't know. All I can do is, give it a try and see what happens. Which is really why I sat down for a moment and discussed the plans with my SGs to make sure, and they said absolutely yes, 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 yes. Have a conversation. So we'll see where it goes. All right, so let's just ask I'm actually just going to ask the SGs to give us a big hug, because this is kind of a heavy topic, and I want everybody to feel a little bit of strength in this today. So I close my aura. I don't really have to say the prayer again, but I will. I close my aura to all but my higher self, the God consciousness, my guides and guardians, and ask Archangel Michael to please protect this channel so it's only of the light. Amen. Hey, you guys, can you give everybody a great big hug here? And mostly what I'm asking for is to help whoever sits in this space, to help them with some clarity on the topics we've been discussing. And, just help them find their own intuition and next steps and healing regarding this whole topic. So please include that in the hug and make it a big one. Wow, I really felt that. I didn't even want to break it, but all right. Thanks, you guys. I don't know, leave a comment. Nothing but tolerance will be accepted. Education, compassion, kindness, challenge, and support. All right. Have a good one. Bye-bye.